This is the first day of our Advent challenge, as Fritzy and I have called it. And we set a goal to do an Advent calendar with a difference. We said every day we'll open a door and introduce a child who's needing a little bit of love and support. So I'm going to be as quick as I can. And the child today is called Bright. And Bright is only 4 years old. Now, her father abandoned her pregnant mother. And the mother then abandoned Bright at the age of 2. Now, we don't know what went on with the mother, and there was talk of an illness, so we shouldn't judge. We don't know where she is. We don't even know if the mum's alive. And of course, we pray that one day she comes back, but for now, the mother has disappeared for over 2 years, and no one's quite sure what happened there. Now, the grandmother has been left with Bright and her older sister, who is 6, and she is living in extreme poverty, living on less than $1 a day. The children are only eating flour and water, wild greens, and sometimes on occasion beans. Since earlier in the year, we had some donations, not sponsorships, donations, which allowed us to put several children into the nursery school. And Bright is currently in that nursery school, Amani, which you'll have seen in our videos, where we had the solar library, etc. But now the end of the year is here, funding is gone, so we need to find sponsors for these children, which is what the Advent children are going to be. So come January, Bright will need to move to the primary school, and the grandmother simply can't access the funds for that. She's labouring, she's getting old, and she's only labouring at harvest time and at the time of sowing, so only in parts of the year. So they're living on much less than $1 a day between the 3 of them. Bright and her grandmother and sister are sleeping on the concrete floor. They don't have mattresses and beds, and they don't have any access to medical care, and they just will not gain access to primary school at the current rate they're at. And I've seen it now, I've been here long enough, religiously, when children are in this position, little girls predominantly like this, they end up becoming house girls from a young age, meaning that they end up just living in someone's home and doing all of the housework in return for having somewhere to sleep, which doesn't necessarily mean they get a bed, it might be on the floor, and they get meals every day. Sometimes the girls don't escape labour like the boys do, and they end up in the quarry breaking stones. They end up in the field labouring with the guardian or the caregiver, the grandmother in this instance, to provide food for themselves and for the family around them, so her sister, etc. So you tend not to see children go into labour until they're around about 7 years old here at the sort of 6 and 7s. 6 is sometimes, but not often, but 7 is normally the age where you see it. So without access to school, it will happen. It will happen. However sad that seems, it happens. This is what's going on around us, and this is why we're doing what we're doing to get the young children away from that before it comes. So the sponsorship for Bright is £2.60 a week, $3, £10.50 a month, or however that works out in dollars, $14 a month, is enough to give that little lady a secure start in her education, a secure start with medical care, a mattress to sleep on, other amenities like a solar lamp so she can do her homework and stuff like that are available on the sponsorship. And with the access to school, she gets access to clothing, etc., school bag, uniforms and so on. Now, schools in Tanzania are supposed to be free, but they're not. Simply, the government made staffing free. This is what they've done, but you still have to pay levies to get into the school. So, for all education is free, there's still money that needs to be paid. And this year, I've had many children, since the schools were made free, who were kicked out of the school because they hadn't paid for meals and stuff like that. And when they can't afford meals at home, there's no way she can afford to contribute for school meals as well. So this means that education is not accessible for Bright. So I'm making this for our first Advent, and to say if anyone feels like they can share a little support with Bright and her grandmother and give them a Christmas gift, that will matter hugely. I know now as a parent that if I couldn't provide food for the children here and I was struggling and I didn't know where the meals were coming from, that knowing that we had some sort of security for the next year or 2 years, 3 or however long it is, would be the best gift I could get this Christmas. And I'm sure any parents or grandparents listening to what I've got to say would agree with me. It would be the greatest gift that we could possibly share with another parent or grandparent, is to say, I know you can't provide for your child, but we're going to make sure that they're provided for. So this is our first Christmas Advent, and I'm putting it out there again. I need to find another format so I'm not rambling on. I've got a way of rambling on videos when I shouldn't, but I'll try and make shorter ones. But there'll be another one on the 2nd, and hopefully this little lady will be sponsored today, so as our Advent challenge can go forward, but let's see what happens. So much love, guys, and Merry Christmas. And if you're wanting to share your support with Bright, there'll be an action tab in the bottom left of the YouTube page video, and you can click on there. It'll take you straight to the child sponsorship page. So much love, guys, and Merry Christmas. Bye. Hey guys, so the video for Samuel that I posted that was titled Trying Something New, it worked, and I couldn't be happier. So a guy called Stephen came forward and has sponsored Samuel for his education, his medical care, nutritional support, and also it allows us to add him into the program to get the amenities such as a mattress, etc. to sleep on. Now at the same time, a guy called Tom came forward and sponsored a child, and I don't know whether Tom saw the video, but it just coincided, so maybe Tom did it off the back of that, but I had no note to say it was for Samuel. And also a lady called June, who already sponsors some children with us, has sponsored and said, I actually hope he's already been sponsored, because then 2 little boys will be sponsored today instead of just 1. And that's what happened. So 3 children were sponsored off the back of that video, which is life-changing for 3 children. If you watch the videos, you know what happens, you know.